Welcome to our first ever virtual Unity Day. I guess since we're doing this via video, I really don't need a mask, so I'll take that off so you can hopefully hear me a little bit better. This is obviously a different way to do Unity Day. It's not the way we hoped or envisioned doing it, but it's the way we have to do it due to COVID-19. We welcome students from Alliston, Aurelia, Barrie, and Bradford. We're glad that you can join us via video to learn a little bit about Unity and what we have to offer, and to help you make a choice about your high school education. Unity's tagline is purposeful, joyful learning, and we hope that you'll join us in that endeavor. Why is it purposeful? It's purposeful because it's done in the light of God's Word, and it's done to prepare students for service in His kingdom. Joyful learning? Well, some of that's up to you, but it's also up to our teachers. We hope that our learning environment is going to be fun, engaging, and something that you'll enjoy doing. But it all depends on how much you put into the learning environment. Over the years that we've done Unity Day, I've realized that there's 4 things that students are really kind of looking for when they consider high school. And so there's 4 things that you're looking for when you consider Unity. One of those is program. Program is the courses we offer, whether that's sciences, maths, humanities, whether that's tech or arts. You're concerned about those things. You want to know, does Unity offer those things? You'll learn more about some of those things a little bit later in the video, but the answer is yes, we offer those things. We offer a comprehensive high school program. Our courses are offered at a variety of levels. Some of them are at the college level, some of them are at the university level. Some are applied, some are academic. We realize that different students have different needs, and we want you to be successful here at Unity. And so we offer a diverse program to help prepare you for whether that's a college program, a university program, or even the trades. One of the things students often wonder about too is the teachers that we have here at Unity. What kind of teachers do we have? Well, let me first say that they're all qualified. They're very gifted in the areas that they teach in, and they're passionate about the areas they teach in. They love students, they love learning, and they love teaching. And they want our students to be successful. So you can know that our students are going to support you and ensure that you're able to be successful in your learning here at Unity. One of the other things that students wonder about is obviously peers and connections and friendships. And high school is a lot about that. One of the things that students missed when we were in distance learning at the end of last year was the connection. And one of the great things about Unity is that we are a smaller school. And so you have the opportunity to connect well with your peers. You have the opportunity to connect well with your teachers and to really get to know people and to build relationships. Part of our Christian mission is to build relationships, not only with God, but with our neighbor. And so we really strive to build healthy relationships here at Unity. The other thing that people often wonder about too is facilities. What does Unity have to offer? It's a smaller school, it's an older building. You're right, it is those things, but it's a great space with lots of opportunity to learn. And we have a performing arts center, which we use for music and drama. We have a fully set up science lab, which is obviously for our science classes. We have other classroom spaces that are unique for learning. We have a computer lab, we have an outdoor basketball court, we have access to the waterfront. We're only about 5 minutes away from the Barrie waterfront, and we're about a 5-minute walk from Sheer Park, which is where some of our phys ed classes go to for some outdoor activities. And then we also have access to Timothy Christian School's gymnasium, which we use for our phys ed classes and for many of our sports teams. And so we have access to awesome facilities, and we have the things that we need to be successful for our students. I just want you to know that despite the fact that we can't have you here, we hope that you'll learn a little bit through the next videos that you'll see, sharing a little bit about the program that we have here at Unity. And I'll come on again at the end just to wrap it up, but I'm glad you're joining us today, and I hope that you'll learn a little bit more through the next videos. Thank you.
Here at Unity, we offer a full concert band music experience plus choir. So when you take music here, you take 2 days of band twice a week and 2 days a week of choir. It's not mandatory to take both those courses, but they are available to you. We also have a praise team that practices every Tuesday morning, and you can participate in that program whether you are in band or not. This year at Unity, we have COVID, and the music program has changed slightly. It is a full instrumental music program this year. Because we can't offer wind instruments as we normally would, we've been offering a string program consisting of ukulele, guitar, and bass. In order to build a comprehensive and well-rounded music program, we use a combination of appropriate secular music and worship music to help us build skills on our instrument. Unity's choral program uses the development of skills through performance. Students will be able to perform a variety of styles and genres, classical, contemporary, and some pop. Because it is a performance-driven subject, you will be performing locally and regionally. Traditionally, we would participate in band festivals. We would also participate in a gigantic choir festival with many choirs from all over the Ontario participating, and it's a really great opportunity to meet other singers. This year, we'll be participating in the CBC Music Contest, and it's an online version, and we're really looking forward to participating. Music is an integral part of our faith in our homes, in our schools, and in our churches. And we need to use music to help us create a connection with God and to help show His amazing grace.
So the art program at Unity, it's 9 through 12. The grade 9 and 10 class is, you don't have to have any prerequisite for it. You can just go into it, and you do need an art credit in order to graduate, so a lot of people take the grade 9. But grade 11 and 12, if you're serious about art, you actually have to have grade 9 or 10 credit before, and it's a university college prep course. So your credit it counts a little bit more that way. Some of the things that you'll be doing are painting, photography, printmaking, sculpture, drawing. We like to explore a lot of mediums just so that you are exposed to a variety of ways to communicate. And some people find that they can really express themselves through photography. Other people really love drawing. And a lot of people tell me that they can't draw, and I just tell them that it's actually not how well you draw, it's actually how well you see, because you observe things, and if you look carefully at things, then you actually can draw, and you'd be surprised at what you can do. Some cool things that we do in visual arts are our field trips. We have gone to some local art galleries, but we've also done some trips to Toronto. One thing that we did that was really fun is we took a trip through Graffiti Alley, and we're able to see some of the street art, and it was pretty incredible, and the kids really enjoyed that. And also the grade 11s and grade 12s, so the senior level courses. At the end of the semester, we take our work and we set up at a gallery downtown Barrie, which is really cool because we have a big opening and people can come in and see it, and we can invite the community to see their work, and we're usually really proud of these things. I really feel that art program at Unity gives the opportunity for students to be creative and just to be show their individuality and have a voice.
So we have a tech program in high school. One of the cool things about our school is we have a full woodworking shop. So we can work with anything from pre-finished lumber to rough cut lumber. We have jointer, planer, full table saw. We've got industrial band saw. We've got miter saws, routers, all of those. We offer 3 different tech courses. We got a grade 9, a 10, and an 11, 12. We do some more custom woodworking stuff and some more construction technology stuff. We usually do a project joined with the art class, where our art class will design something and our tech kids will have to build it, and they'll be partnered up with someone. Usually they'll create something where, how can we improve the school? That's been done by building our shed out back was built by the tech class. We've built shelving, we've built constructed test tube holders for our science class. They've fixed things before around the school. So usually that takes one of our projects. Usually we'll do kind of taking a rough cut project and taking it all the way to a finished product. Kids have done cutting boards before. All stuff that really is stuff they're interested in and they can take home. In grade 11 and 12, we start getting more into a lot of our construction technology, where we learn about framing, we learn about some electrical stuff, and we try to learn about some practical skills. And if they were to actually pursue something or go to a co-op and learn more about construction, framing, and that kind of thing.
Hi, I'm Jeff Weening, or Mr. Weening, and I teach English at Unity Christian High School, among many other things. And I want to tell you a little bit about the English program. A lot of younger students, or a lot of grade 7, 8 students, wonder what English is. They've never had a course called English. Now in grade school you have spelling, language arts, grammar, you read novels and all that sort of thing. Writing, of course, and that's English. We take it as one class in high school, and you have to take it, or you get to take it every year. So throughout the course, the English courses at Unity, we do a lot of really fun things. We like to work with other courses, and you've heard of PBL and sort of cross-curricular courses. In the past, we've worked with a history program and created books and museum exhibits that actually show at the Simcoe County Museum up the road. We write and publish books, publish poetry that we have written as a class in the past. We write and share amazing stories. We put on performances. I can remember one year we were reading the play Hamlet, and the kids loved it so much, the play Hamlet, that they decided they wanted to perform it. We were gonna do just little skits, but they decided they wanted to do the whole thing. So as a class, we prepared entire final act of the play Hamlet. And that leads me into the drama program here. I've always been heavily involved in the drama program, and we put on plays every other year. It's been a while now because of COVID, but I'm sure you're familiar with some of the great plays that the whole school becomes involved in, and it really brings everybody together and allows you to get your talents out there if that's what you're gifted in. And everything we teach here gets tied in with the biblical worldview. That's the grounding center of everything we teach. And you're not going to get that. You don't get that at other schools where the grounding center of what you learn is that the human, the individual, is the center and most important of all things. And here, it's God and it's God's truth. So as that applies in something like English, we know that anytime anybody says something that is true, it's God. It comes from God. It's God's truth. So we study that. We can analyze different aspects of literature and the arts and music and drama, and we can see through that people all over the world are making beautiful things, saying truthful things, being honest about the way life is, and we study that and we celebrate it. And when we see things that are not pointed in God's direction, we're able to see that too, and try to redeem and recreate that. In our creations, when we make beautiful things ourselves, we're always reminding ourselves that everything we do for the glory of God. And we're seeking to honor Him, and we're seeking to tell His truth. That doesn't mean it's always, you don't talk about the honest and hard things of life, because that's true too. And that's part of the truth that we try to incorporate into all of our courses here. It's not like we shy away from the dark things of life. That's sin, that's brokenness, that's the world we live in. So we study that too in places like history, the history course. And when we talk about wars and things that have happened in the past, some things that have happened in the past are have honored God, and many do not. So we look at that. And in geography, we look at the way that we have interacted with the world. That human beings have created beautiful things, like I said, created cultures, created countries, and all of that is in response to God, because God He made us in His image, and God is a creative God. God created this amazing world, and He made us creative people, and as a response, what we do, we live in the world and we create. And the things we create have sometimes been to His glory, and sometimes not been to His glory. And we look at that in geography, in everything.
The Learning Strategies course is probably one of the lesser known courses at Unity. It's offered through grade 9 to grade 12, and it really focuses on students as Christ's image bearers. As individuals, we all learn differently, and because of this, we have a pretty comprehensive student services program. Many of the students are guided to this course because they have a learning struggle or an IEP, but we have found that more and more students are coming to realize that this course is a place where they can focus on their learning strengths and improve their overall abilities. Most of the course focuses on how we learn and how we become more proficient learners. And as we learn more about our brain and how it works, we begin to understand that knowing ourselves better is the key to tapping into our own potential. Our study habits, our presentation skills, our thinking skills all contribute to the overall learning. And these are the things that universities, colleges, and employers are looking for. I think the best comment that I've heard from a former student that went on to university was when she came back and said, "I really appreciated from Unity's teachers that they did not teach me what to think, but they taught me how to think." If you have a learning struggle, this is an excellent program, but it's also a great program for any student who wants to learn more about themselves and to improve their overall abilities and opportunities. I think as Christ's image bearers, we're all created as individuals, we're created uniquely, and I think this course really gives us the opportunity to investigate that and to take a look at some of the gifts and talents that we have and the things that we can use for Christ's kingdom and the changes that we can make in the world that's ahead of us.
Science program at Unity is all about asking questions and discovering God's world. In grade 9 and 10 science, we look at everything from the smallest atom to the largest universe in space science. We start with chemistry. We also have units in biology where we discover the natural world, how our bodies work, looking at ecological systems. We look at the physics, looking at the laws of physics around us. Then in the senior sciences, we start to specialize a bit. You have the choice to select for biology or chemistry or physics, or you can take all three, depending on your university goals, depending on the career aspirations you might have. So we offer a whole range of courses. We make sure that we have a comprehensive program for you to understand the world around us and also to prepare yourselves for whatever comes after high school. One of the really fun things about teaching science and about being in science class is we have the opportunities to do really interactive activities. We can do lab activities, we can set up chemical reactions, students can do them at their desks, we can do them outside, we can learn about the different kinds, and we can make things like soap and bath bombs. We can look at the way the body works, and we do dissections to see that, to be able to touch and feel and experience how these systems all work together. We go on field trips, we go on hikes when we're learning about ecological systems. We can explore the diversity of life by being out in nature and taking advantage of those opportunities that we have. We look at genetics, and we start with extracting DNA from strawberries, and then that can lead into discussions about biotechnology and what kinds of advances there are currently. And so we can have discussions, tough discussions, about how we can think about God and these technologies and how people can relate to them and how we have to interact with them both now and perhaps in our futures. when we look at what we are learning about the body or about chemical reactions, or when we're learning about how electrical circuits work, we just see that God is amazing and this wonderful creator, and the complexity that we learn about, it can't help but instill a sense of awe and wonder. And that's what we want to do with our students. Everybody who takes these science classes can experience a little bit of that. The science program is an important part of what we do at Unity. We are God's creation, and we can develop our whole beings by learning about creation, by understanding our part in creation, whether we go on to be scientists or whether we go on to be something else. Having an understanding of how the world works helps us to become better people, well-rounded people.
So grade 9 math, we do lots of geometry, algebra, taking an equation, putting it visually on a graph. Okay, so, and that's going to increase in complexity starting in grade 9, and it's going to get more and more complex as you go up to grade 12. Personally, I love problem solving, math challenges, riddles. Whenever we've got free time, I give them puzzle booklets and they work through all kinds of logic puzzles. We put riddles on the board, and kids try to solve them all the time. I also love competing in math challenges. Oftentimes when we're trying to go over a concept a second time, I'll lay out building plans, and kids have to use those building plans and graph equations and figure out where another clue is, and there's a scavenger hunt all over the school. Usually food rewards, because that motivates the most. We also do math contests, grade 9, 10, 11, 12, and where you just try to see what you can do. It doesn't count for a grade, but it's just to be challenged and to do better. In some of our other classes, we also talk about finances and mathematics. Talking about creating budgets, getting car loans, looking at different credit cards. What does it take to get a mortgage? What does an amortization table look like? And we really try to talk about that in terms of what has God called me to do with my money, and how can I prepare myself for the future? And that's really what we try to look at in finances and mathematics. One of the really cool things we do in grade 12 is this thing called Math Fair. And Math Fair is basically, instead of sticking to the curriculum, which is very oriented towards algebra and geometry, we kind of take a step back from that, and I offer kids a field of all different types of mathematics, and things that they are interested in and never heard of. Things like looking at how does string theory work, and how many dimensions are there really, or what would those dimensions look like? What are optimal surfaces? And a lot of times kids come into this and they've never even thought about researching these things before. And you really get to see where could their interests come in. Some kids look at what's the mathematics in sports because they're really interested in sports. What's the perfect free throw shot? So there's all different kinds of fields. What are problems that in mathematics aren't solved yet? And all these kinds of things they can look at and research, and they take a look, and then they take that and they explain it to their peers, to the grade 9s, 10s, and 11s. And they explain this mathematics, and they, for one of the few times, get to be the experts. They get to be the ones who know the most about this field of mathematics, and they get to explain it to their peers. And doing this through information, they often do engaging activities to draw them in. And it's really cool, and it's really cool to see how much they can learn when they have the ability to go off and learn and pursue something as far as they can. And it often goes beyond how much I've motivated them. They're just taking their learning and going with it.
Here at Unity, in our health and physical education program, we're really trying to teach kids to make that lifelong commitment to physical activity. That usually looks like us focusing on some of the sports that they might see outside of school, things like a softball team that they might want to play on in the summer, different basketball leagues, but really trying to focus on allowing our students to learn some of those skills and learn the rules to those games. Really, we want to make sure that they're prepared for that, to just create new opportunities for them even long after high school. One of the great opportunities that kids have in the PE program is in grade 9 they get to go on a frisbee golf trip to Sandy Hollow, which is a course that they have here in Barrie. The kids get to do 18 holes. It's one of the great opportunities they have to kind of get to know each other, even if they went to different schools. They really get to bond, and it's really early in the course that we do that. And just over the years, we've seen kids just come and have a real good response to getting to go on that trip. And even years later, they're still telling us like, oh, one of our favorite things that we've done is that trip that we got to do. So it's really good to hear that, and it's really good to see that, kids aren't just getting a chance to get out and be physically active, but they're having that social interaction and really getting to meet new friends, which is a really important part to start when you're here in Unity. One of the senior level courses that we offer in our physical education program is a kinesiology course, focusing on the introduction to kinesiology. One of the great opportunities that kids get to experience there is they're going to get to run a sports combine, which for those who don't know what that is, that's actually a thing where they're going to measure their skills, whether it be how high they can jump, how fast they can run. So we get the rest of the school involved in that, and these kids get to compete. But the students that are actually running the combine get to focus on the biomechanics of how the body moves and why the body moves that way. So it's just a really cool opportunity they have to learn that in a fun way that's not just fun for them, but fun for other students as well. Our health and physical education program is really important here at Unity because it gives kids an opportunity to learn through the physical. Every kid learns differently. Some people are going to be those auditory learners, some are going to be visual learners. But we have to remember a lot of kids are kinesthetic learners. They learn through motion, they learn through doing things that way. So it's just great that we have a program that does that. We teach kids great transferable skills like teamwork, conflict resolution. Those are just opportunities that they're going to learn how to take those skills with them into other parts of their life, whether it just be at their time here in high school, and especially their time that they're going to be going wherever they go after that. Our athletics program here at Unity really tries to give students the opportunity to excel in a variety of different sports. Some of the sports that we offer here are basketball, volleyball, track and field, cross-country running, and badminton. I remember when I first came here, I thought that, hey, we're a really small school, we're probably not going to compete with some of these larger schools that are in our area. But I was surprisingly wrong. I remember walking through the hallways and seeing some of the OFSA banners, seeing the divisional championships that we've won in basketball and volleyball. This school, it competes as hard as they can. And I think we really get to see the results, and it's great to see just a school full of Christian kids just doing all that for the glory of God. I remember last year we lost a championship basketball game, and the kids were pretty broken up about it. But when they were getting changed, the other coaches came up to me, and they just talked to me about how surprised they were about how well our kids carried themselves. They went up to the other team, they congratulated them, they encouraged them to continue to work hard in the next round. I just thought that was amazing, that was so much more important than any win we were going to take out of that game. And it just really felt good as a coach to know that those kids were showing the love of Christ, and just really the more important lesson that they learned, how to love their neighbor. One of the really difficult things in athletics this year is that we had to stop doing our sports teams due to COVID-19. But we just took that as an opportunity to try something different. We've started doing intramural sports. Right now, we're doing volleyball, and the kids have just loved it. We have operating at capacity right now, whether it be 9s, 10s, 11s, 12s. We're just getting, all the classes have just been really interested in that. And we plan to continue trying to do this, continue to try new things. I think that's just what makes Unity different, is that we just see some of these obstacles as an opportunity to do something new. And our kids have responded really well to that, and we just look forward to continuing to go in that direction.
I want to talk here about the Worldview sort of stream of courses that we study at Unity. The Worldview perspectives in grade 9, the Bible course in grade 10, the Faith and Culture course it's called in grade 11, and the Senior Project in grade 12. And many of you are thinking, what are those? Well, you've heard the term Worldview. You've already heard it maybe from me, but you've heard it in lectures and talks at maybe your schools or at your churches. So what Worldview is this idea that we look at the world from a unique perspective, or a story. There's a story of the world, and there's many different stories of the world, and we want to tell and see the story of the world from the perspective of Christ, His truth, and the Word of God in the Bible. So that's what we focus on in the grade 9 Worldview class. We look at the biblical and Christian worldview. We look at all the other worldviews and other stories that are being told out there, because those influence us so much all the time. And then we see how it works out in the world. We go down to Toronto and walk the city. We just walk the city and look at the way that people have made their city and built cities and built buildings and built communities, and how that comes from the heart and from a worldview perspective, the way things are built. It's about, what do you worship? What is your God? We all worship something. And at Unity in this Worldview course, and then throughout this curriculum all the way up to the senior project, we want to focus on asking ourselves what is going to be at the center of our worship and at the center of our heart. So that's what we do in this course. And then in grade 11, it's called Faith and Culture, and that's kind of what we would call like a capstone course to cap it all off and get you ready to go out there in the world, and to be able to walk in the world as an authentic follower of Jesus. That's our hope for you, to be able to work in His kingdom and to know how that works on all the different levels of culture and society, whether it's in the arts, in science, in math, wherever you choose to go in your life. How can you be a Christian in that space? How can you build God's kingdom in that space? I know maybe that doesn't sound that exciting to you right now, but the truth is, in the end, it is what matters in every person's life. It's the sort of thing that you get to, and if you're not there now, you will get to the point where you ask yourself, what am I doing here? How did I get here? What's my meaning and purpose in life? What am I supposed to do? And we want to build in you, through discussion and honest questioning, answers to that, where you understand that you're here for God, and you belong body and soul to your faithful Savior, Jesus Christ. And out of that comes joy and gratitude and this desire to live for Him in whatever place He's called you, whatever you're good at. We want to encourage you to build His kingdom and live for Him in that area. And that's what we do throughout these courses: Worldview, Bible, Faith and Culture, Senior Project. So the Worldview stream from grade 9 through 12 has a lot of really cool opportunities, because what we often do in this stream is incorporate it with other classes. We call that cross-curricular opportunities, and we've done a number of those in the Worldview classes in the past. I can remember we have a garden that we created just out back. It's called a communal garden, which the neighborhood of Allendale all uses to grow vegetables, and people, homeless people, people from the neighborhood, they all just harvest and plant, and we work on it together. And that's a garden that we made through the Faith and Culture class in conjunction with the grade 12 biology class. And that was a few years ago. And I can remember one student, when that garden was done, coming up to me and saying, I didn't really understand what it meant to be, as a Christian working in the world and working for God's kingdom. She said that's what made it click for me. And that's just an example of some of the opportunities we have in the Worldview stream.
One of the unique courses here at Unity Christian High School is the Senior Project course. And it's one of those courses that in grade 12 you get to explore any topic that you wish. And you get to learn about, research, demonstrate, create a research paper and a project that's connected with your learning. One of the things that a lot of students are excited about is that they get to do this under self-guidance. So you get to regulate how you spend your time in classes. I'm here to guide you, I'm here to give you resources, but really you are doing the work, you're doing the research, you're picking the topic that you're passionate about, something that perhaps you want to learn more about. In the past, students have learned how to play new instruments, they've learned new languages, they've learned how to recycle various materials in their houses. Students have refurbished old trailers into study nooks. We've had students build tiny houses, create boats, refurbish motorcycles. We've had students create cookbooks, produce storybooks online. So there's a variety, you name it, the sky's the limit. One of the exciting things with Senior Project is hearing students say, I can't believe I did that. And they're amazed and they're so proud of their work. So this is something that you get to think about all the way through your high school years. And you'll hear students talk about it in the halls, how exciting they are. They're a little nervous, they're a little anxious. But at the end of the day, Senior Project is one of those courses that uses all their skills that they've done throughout the 4 years of learning, and they compile it into one project, one paper, and one presentation to demonstrate their learning and to showcase their God-given skills.
Oh no, I'm late for school, Oh no. Hey Siri, what day is it today?
Today is Unity Day, also known as the best day ever.
Oh, nice. Sweet.
You were supposed to make a video.
What? Since when? Right, actually no, that was a thing. I did not do that yet. You know what? No, it's fine. I'll just do a video right now. I can do it during school. It'll be fine. It'll be like a day in the life of a student. It'll be okay. Okay. Hi.
You may or may not know me, but I'm Shauna Vanderhorst.
I'd like to tell you guys a little bit about what we have here at Unity.
We have a lot of fun. Because this year we have no sports at Unity, we have intramural sports. It's a lot of fun.
And when it's lunchtime, that's when the fun really begins. During our lunches, we like to venture far and wide into the unknown.
Especially for snacks. Especially for snacks. Sometimes we use our lunches to believe we can fly. We can't fly, but we still believe.
And then we go back to class, but we still have fun.
Once we finish napping in our classes, we pile onto the buses, head home, and wait for the fun to begin yet again.
Just in case you haven't been paying attention, I've created a presentation about the themes we've explored here in this video. What does Unity have? A lot of fun. Thank you for coming to my presentation. I hope you've taken notes because you will be tested on this next year when you come to Unity. Wow, I can't believe I just finished that video in one day. Now I just gotta send it to Mr. Shank. Let's see, how do I send an email again? How to write an email to principal. Hi. I have completed the video and send.
Well, that was a lot of information to digest, wasn't it? Speaking of digesting, we hope that you will or have enjoyed the snack that's in your gift bag. As our thank you for participating in Unity Day, we are providing you with a few gifts from Unity that we hope you will use and enjoy. I'm not sure if you noticed it or not, but I have to admit that I messed up early in the video, maybe more than once. I said that our students are going to support you. That's hopefully true, as we have an awesome student body at Unity. But what I meant to say is that our teachers will support you and encourage you. The fact is that we all make mistakes, and what makes a good learner and student is that you learn from your mistakes. At Unity, we will support you through your mistakes and celebrate your successes. One thing we haven't heard about yet is Unity's retreat and service days. Assuming we aren't still impacted by COVID restrictions next year, we will have a 2-day retreat for our grade 9 students at the end of the first week of school. This retreat is a great time to make new friends and build strong and lasting friendships. At the same time as the grade 9s are on their retreat, our grade 10 and 11 students are busy serving in the Barrie community. Our students serve at various organizations in our city so they can show that we care about others and that our students want to make a difference in the area in which they live. The grade 12 students do a retreat at the same time as well. Their retreat focuses on planning for their future and thinking about what they want to do when they leave high school and what is the legacy they want to leave behind at Unity. I just want to say that we would love to have each one of you join our Unity community. I know that you have lots of options in terms of the public and Catholic schools in your area, but at Unity you will find yourself a school that cares about you not only as a student, but as an image bearer of God. And we will work with you to ensure that you are able to become the person that God is calling you to be. You will be supported, encouraged, and challenged to use your gifts and hopefully discover some new ones as you engage in purposeful, joyful learning at Unity Christian High. So when you go home today, make sure you let your parents know that you want to come to Unity to enjoy our educational experience. Please let your parents know that they can contact us to book a personal tour at any time. We hope to see this year's grade 8s in September of 2021. Thank you.